plaintiff, Evelyn Gregory, was good friends with the defendant, but she claims after the defendant had an argument with her husband, Evelyn tried to comfort her by giving her a hug, and the defendant pushed her. As a result, Evelyn says she fell and broke her wrist, so she's suing for the assault and medical bills. Defendant Alfreda Gray Vaughn admits that Evelyn was a good friend, and she always admired her. However, on the night of the incident, she insists Evelyn was drunk and violated her personal space, so that's why she pushed her. She's countersuing for lost wages.
Start with you. Give me some background on your association with the defendant.
Okay, I've been knowing Ms. Vaughn for over 50 years. Ms. Vaughn is
50?
Wow.
50.
Beautiful.
Ms. Vaughn is the auntie to my oldest son, and we've been hanging out for years. We never had a problem. Never. We've been on trips together. I've been to Vegas. I lost my son right here in 2019.
You lost your what?
My son
Oh, God.
to gun violence, and she was there every step of the
What
way.
city?
Chicago. Every year for my birthday, I need her to cook me a pan of cabbage. She can cook. She comes from a cooking family. And that's how long
Good.
I've been
I'm so
knowing
glad
her.
you were there for her. And then it's unfortunate that your son was murdered. And things have gotten worse since then around the country and in Chicago. And part of it is the stress and pressures of COVID. Secondly, the guns, the availability of guns. More guns, more murders.
Murders, right.
You tell me about your relationship.
Me and Evelyn has had a very good relationship. She was previously married to my brother, who's the one child that they have. And upon meeting, I think I was 11 or 12, but it was because of the way she carried herself and she dressed up and everything, and I looked up to her. And yes, I did cook for her and done other little things that she didn't mention, but that's because we had a loving relationship between us. So after we had took a trip to St. Louis in September of this year, and upon reading that, it's like almost 6
Did
o'clock.
she do that to you?
Yes.
You almost loved her to death.
No.
It appears.
Wait.
All right. Let her tell me why she's suing you. Then you can defend yourself. But she tells me the specifics of what happened.
Never had a problem. Never. We've been on trips together. I've been to Vegas. I lost my son right here in 2019.
Lost your what?
My son
Oh, God.
to gun violence, and she was there every step of the
What
way.
city?
Chicago.
Defendant Alfreda Gray Vaughn is being sued by her former friend, who claims Alfreda pushed her, and as a result, she broke her wrist.
So let's get to you.
So she has a family member that got killed the same time my son did. So every year we'll go to celebrate her cousin's son, and they'll come and visit me to celebrate my son. And so this time I was supposed to meet Alfreda at 12 o'clock in the afternoon for us to leave to go. But when I got there, I asked her and her husband kind of bickering. So he said, well, she been drinking and she ain't had no sleep. She come in straight from work and she hadn't had no sleep. So anyway, fast forward, we got on the highway and he was driving. So we made a stop to go to the bathroom, and he was like, well, my wife keep embarrassing me, doing all this arguing, this, that, and the other. So we made it to St. Louis. And when we got to St. Louis, we was in an Airbnb. So I had gave her my $80, what she asked me for. It was a lot of confusion about the Airbnb. But anyway, we were in the room, and she was in the bathroom changing her clothes so we could go over to the cousin's house. And once she was kind of still upset, and I went in the bathroom. I said, come on now, we're going to enjoy this trip. Let me give you a hug. So we hugged, and I said, no, we're going to have us a good time. And we left and went on over to the cousin's house. I started playing cards because I love to play cards. And she had left, I don't know, but by the time she came back to pick me up, we left to go to the Airbnb, back to the Airbnb, and she was at it again,
At it again with whom?
Her husband.
Husbands?
So I had mentioned to her that her husband was saying that she studied embarrassing him, and she got mad at me. What he telling you this here for?
Yeah.
That thing I know, she grabbed a knife, snatched the sheets off the bed, and went at him. I was like, Alfreda, please, come on, we don't do this, don't do this. She like, get out. You can get out and he can get out.
She's drunk.
Yeah. We both can get out. I said, oh, Alfreda, you just need a hug. I walked up to her to give her a hug. Next thing you know, boom, and I hit the floor and I heard my arm crack.
You think I'm crazy?
Pardon
You think
me?
I'm a fool?
What? No.
Something wrong with me.
No.
And what make you think you can tell me that you went to give a woman a hug
I promise
that was
you.
cursing and threatening and throwing you out?
I did. That's what I did, Your Honor.
Let me hear from you. You know you swung on this woman.
No, sir, she did
She
not
didn't swing on you?
No,
I'm
sir.
trying to give you a
I know, but I'm-
judgment. I'm trying to give you the money.
No, sir.
Go ahead, tell me what happened.
Sir, we did travel to St. Louis. When we got to St. Louis, we were at the Airbnb. Across the streets were numerous amounts of bars. Evelyn went to the bar. She asked me to go
I
with
went
her.
to the bar.
I
I
said
never went
no.
to no bar.
It was a bar
liquor
across the
store.
street that
It
had
was a
tables
store.
and chairs, and you go inside and they'll mix you a drink and you could sit outside. So then we went to my cousin's house. As she said, yes, they were playing cards. No, my cousin wasn't there. I sat on the front porch. Evelyn was drinking.
I hear about who drank the most. I don't
Right.
know.
That's
I don't know whether you or her drank the most.
That's the whole.
I didn't even
All
drink
right,
at her
go
cousin's
ahead.
house.
I'm not
'cause I was
giving out
playing
any
cards.
tests today. Go ahead. You're not
When
walking
we-
no line or whatever they do. Go ahead. So what happened?
When we came back from my cousin's house, and she did tell me some devastating news that my husband had told her. And so then I said to her, I say, Evelyn, I say, you telling me to my ears, but it's affecting my heart. I say that if he was telling you that and you love me, you would have said, hold. Don't tell me that. I love her. And to read back,
We're
she
talking
said
about
that
what
we-
happened in the house when you all had this fight.
Okay, sir. When we came back from my cousin's house, I sat outside on the curb because we had been arguing. And so then she said to me, she said, I can't sit down here, it's too low. So across the street, it was 2 benches. So it was a man and a lady sitting there. We sat on the bench. She was drinking Tito, and she offered the man some Tito. So then he said, no, because my lady don't like how I act after I drink Tito. And the lady was sitting right next to them. So Evelyn kept on saying things and asked him for his phone number. So this is when I said something. She bent over, not bending down. She bent over and she shook her butt.
Are you serious, Frida?
She shook
Are
her
you
behind
serious?
and she said, I'm 65 and I like it 35. It was starting to rain. So we did go across the street and went up to the Airbnb. And that's where we started arguing again. And yes, there was a knife that was given for me to cut ribs and rib tips up. I'm sorry. It's the
She looked
truth,
like
Lord.
her arm looked like a rib tip.
Because no.
Go ahead.
When she did say I had a knife because I was cutting the rib tips, and I did go in the back to address the person that told her.
With the knife.
Yes, sir. But I never in my life.
You forgot to put it down after
And I put
cutting
it on the dresser, and I was talking.
Going to get that man with a butcher knife.
Defendant Alfreda Gray Vaughn is being sued by her former friend, who claims Alfreda pushed her, and as a result, she broke her wrist.
Go ahead.
And I was talking with him, and yes, I picked the knife up, and I was going back in, and I put it on the counter in the kitchen. She said to me, you're not going to hurt me with that knife, are you? I say, Evelyn, that's not funny. I say, stop talking to me. Stop talking to me. We've been arguing all along. So then it's like got worse and worse. So I guess my back was up against the wall, and I guess she was trying, can I kiss you, kiss you? I say, Evelyn, get out my face. I say, do you want me to push you? And she was steady in my face, violating my personal space. And she was too drunk. And so then when she didn't move, I done just like that. And I pushed her. And she fell on her buttocks and she slid.
What happened after you pushed her? What did you do
She
then?
said, I stood there and looked at her and she said, help me up. And I didn't.
Why?
Because I allow her to make me get so angry. So if someone give you some bad news about a person, I don't think you should be the
Yeah,
bearer
you
of
should
bad.
stay out of married couples' business, ma'am. I don't care if one of them bring
That's
it
true.
to you. Stay
That's
out,
true.
don't even
But that
let it
is
go.
so
Say,
true,
you go
Judge.
tell her, say, I don't want to know about y'all business.
That's true.
All right. So how did you hurt your arm?
When she pushed me, I hit the floor and it broke.
Broke your
My
whole
wrist
arm?
is broke. No, my wrist.
Wrist.
Yes. If you look on, I have evidence.
I see one on page 3. Well, I'll just see your arm wrapped up.
Yeah, and then it'll tell you to have my arm is wrist fracture treated with
Oh, I see it. Now, I don't think she's disputing that you were hurt. What is your defense?
That had she not been drunk and in
But
my
I was not
personal
drunk.
Quiet,
space,
let her
and not
finish.
she because she wasn't listening to me. She knew we had been.
You felt
arguing.
like you were in fear of harm?
Well, no, sir, not.
Why
not
didn't you walk
fear,
away?
Because I was just. I'm sorry. I was just so angry. And I thought about that Sunday when I was driving back home. I didn't turn the other cheek because I allowed her to make me become the ugly person. So then it's like I say, I'm not responsible. I pushed her, but had she not been in my face drunk, had she
You could have walked away. Because up against the wall, if you don't feel threatened and you all are just arguing, then you could walk away. That's one element of it. And then the other is that you stood over her.
I wasn't over. When I pushed her, she slid on the floor.
You told me that. You told me, I said, what did you do? You said, I stood there.
I stood where I was.
What is your
after I
counterclaim
pushed her.
for? How does she owe you $120, ma'am?
Because I could have been at work today.
Okay. When there's a claim that has merit, meaning it is a legitimate claim, folks don't get lost wages in most courts, certainly not in mine. This was not self-defense. This was assault and battery, which led to her injury. So I have to give her both her medical expenses and her pain and suffering.
I have surgery tomorrow, sir. It's 7:30.
So I'm gonna give it a max, ma'am. You hear the consequences of what happened.
Yes.
All right, judgment for the plaintiff, and yours is dismissed. I hope you all can resume your friendship. Y'all only fell out once in 50 years. I fell out 50 times in 50 years. So have a good day. Y'all make sure you stay together.
I still love you, Freddie. You still gonna always be in my life. And just want to give you my condolences to Alfred Berry, your uncle who just passed.
I don't believe you because you were not truthful. You did not say that you had drank one drink, and you know that after we got
Girl,
there,
you studied talking about somebody drinking. You drank
right?
100
You know that you did, but it's okay.
I'm done, Dora. Thank you.
But all right.